right now you can hedge your portfolio extremely cheaply right now. And portfolio insurance is extremely cheap right now because nobody wants it. So nobody's willing to take out, to spend money to hedge because markets are only trending higher here. Here's what you need to know before the bell this morning. Like clockwork, and this has been a really amazing kind of trend we've had in the markets really over the last several months, but actually going back to November, and again, we talked about this yesterday, is that this market just continues to trade in this very tight range. We got to the top of that range on Monday, Tuesday, sold off to it, touched the 20-day moving average yesterday, and bounced off of it right at the close. This market this morning looking to open higher. And again, yesterday we had this sell-off in tech stocks, cross the board, Apple, Microsoft, Google, all down. Bitcoin had a big drawdown yesterday. So again, very interesting. Comes right down to this support line, and all the computer algorithms are going to kick in this morning and start to buy that 20-day moving average. So the markets are going to open up this morning. But again, it's just been a really phenomenal stretch, as we talked about yesterday. When you go back in time, we don't see periods like this previously, where you have such a low volatility move and markets just kind of stay in this more kind of overbought territory for an extended period. We just haven't seen one like this without having a correction of some sort kind of along the way. But again, this is what the market's doing right now. And again, there's no reason to worry until we kind of violate that trend line. And we will. At some point, we're going to take out this trend line support and the market's going to go lower. The issue, though, is that we're continuing to build that bigger and bigger deviation from the 200-day moving average, as we've talked about for the last several days. So again, the risk is certainly there for that correction to occur. And again, this kind of was an interesting day yesterday in particular because volatility, again, you had a fairly big sell-off in the markets. Markets were sold, the S&P was down about 1% yesterday, and volatility actually declined yesterday. So, so this has been a really interesting move in the markets because, again, we've had this slow grind higher and absolutely just a very low grind in the underlying volatility index itself. It's just been very low. You have very little small spikes in volatility from one day. You have a sharp down move in the market, maybe volatility spikes up a little bit and then goes right back down. So again, just as soon as the market does sell off a bit, people are coming back in to short volatility, betting on the market continuing to move higher. But again, we have volatility running at extremely low levels. In fact, if you go back over time, we've got volatility trading at some of the lowest levels that we've seen since really prior to the 2020 kind of pandemic shutdown. Again, volatility just continues to kind of trail off lower here. As really the expectation of a crash or a correction simply doesn't exist. People are not betting really on taking out any type of protection against their portfolio for a potential reversion in the market. So right now you can hedge your portfolio extremely cheaply right now. And portfolio insurance is extremely cheap right now because nobody wants it. So nobody's willing to take out, to spend money to hedge because markets are only trending higher here, particularly across multiple asset classes. And again, one of the most speculative asset classes we've got right now, of course, is Bitcoin, which, yesterday had a very, very sharp decline. And this morning, had a big decline yesterday, took out the previous day's gains this morning, opening up again. Basically recovering the vast majority of that loss yesterday. So again, just a lot of volatility in the markets, but markets really not going anywhere and staying in this really kind of defined range. So again, nothing to worry about at the moment, but watch that 20-day moving average. You break that, I think you're going to get a much bigger selling program that kicks in. That's what you need to know before the bell this morning.